about those walker gears deployed by the CFA. It appears that it's not just the CFA. PFs all along the Angola-Zaire border are also getting equipped with them. The bipedal technology was developed by the Soviets, but Cypher's the one supplying it to the PFs. The question is why? What's in it for them? The answer may lie in the compensation being traded to Cypher by the PFs. Many outfits operating in Africa get locally mined resources as spoils of war. Diamonds, nuggets of gold, and rare metals. According to the intel team, there's a PF convoy that regularly transports the goods, escorted by armored vehicles, no less. Pretty heavy security for crossing the remote Angolan savannah. I can't imagine Cypher would be so interested in minerals alone. Those convoys have to be transporting something else. Something that holds the key to Cypher's plans. Boss, I want you to extract the truck, cargo and all, from the PF convoy. Let's find out what Cypher's real goals are.
Mission accepted. Deploying.
Boss, your objective is to steal an entire truck from a PF convoy. We don't have a fix on the truck we want, but the intel team has spotted the unit that's been tasked with escorting it. They're stationed at the guard post to the north of Nova Braga Airport on the Savannah. The rendezvous with our target will be any time now. Start by heading to that guard post. Then follow the escort unit. It should lead you right to the target truck. Boss, extract them from the mission area. You can check the target details on your iDroid. Where's the escort unit?
Analysis complete.
The escort unit isn't there. We must be too late. Is there anything there that might lead us to the target? Look everywhere in the guard post. You found an intel file.
Updated. Intel file obtained. The map
It's the
has
escort
been
plan for the
updated.
transport truck. I'm
Marker
putting the
placed.
escort unit's predicted route on your iDroid. Get after them. They should rendezvous with the target soon.
Analysis complete.
Go get him! Hold him off!
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Marker removed. Marker placed. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Analysis
That
complete.
soldier, he isn't with the CFA. What could be so important that it would require 2 major PFs to guard it?
Go get him!
Analysis complete.
You gonna extract him?
Analysis complete.
Hold him off!
Analysis complete.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. On combat alert. Now that they know we're chasing them, the target will make an end run to its destination. Hurry up and find that truck. There they are. The escort unit's armored vehicles. Is the target with them?
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
That truck is the target.
Mission info
Extract
has
it
been
out of the mission
updated.
area. You can also drive it out of the hot zone
Development
yourself.
complete.
Extract the target.
Analysis complete.
Leave the mission area
Mission
by
info
chopper
has
or
been
by land.
updated. Please support helicopter
Roger.
requested. Please select a mission.
Arriving shortly at LZ.
Unit dispatched. Unit dispatched.
This is Pequod. On station at LZ. Gaining altitude. Departing.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Mission complete. Great work. Boss, we searched the truck you recovered. There were two primary types of cargo. First, drums of malachite, a copper ore. That took up most of the truck bed. But malachite isn't valuable enough to warrant an escort. The real cargo was likely the second item, a shielding container. The contents, yellow cake. That's right, the raw material for a nuclear weapon. That might point to the weapon to surpass Metal Gear Emmerich told us about. But who can say? Thing is, there isn't a lot of it. Not enough to make a nuclear warhead. Give us some time. We'll look into it. Try to figure out why they had this under such close guard.
Side ops list
Boss,
updated.
this is an emergency.
Mission list
We had two
updated.
intel team agents undercover at the PF, Contract Forces of Africa. The CFA have captured them both. They don't have long to live. You've got to get them out of there ASAP. This means Cypher might be getting wind of our existence. We may need to move more cautiously from now on. I just hope this incident has nothing to do with them. I've added the details to your mission list. Don't let them down, boss. Boss, I have the report on that cargo we stole from Cypher's truck. The PF was transporting two things. The analysis of that malachite has come back first. Naturally, the main compound is copper. There's also a small amount of cobalt. Nothing unusual so far. Southern Zaire is a well-known copper belt. However, in addition to these, we also detected a trace amount of uranium. The content percentage, though, is too low for nuclear development. It most likely came from Shinkalobwe mine. That's where the uranium in that area comes from. The mine's closed, as all the high-purity uranium ore dried up a long time ago, but you could probably still find it there in small quantities. That said, there are plenty of other uranium mines that are in operation, like in Niger, Namibia, South Africa. Why go to an abandoned mine to scrape up whatever's left and ship it out in mass quantities without refining it? They were transporting that yellow cake too, which would suggest they have the technology to refine uranium. Anyway, that about sums it up. Unfortunately, the analysis of that yellow cake is taking a little longer. I'll let you know when it's done. Zero Risk Security aren't as hardcore a military outfit compared to the other two PFs in this region. The company sends operatives to conflict regions around the world, not just Africa. They have decades of combined experience. They're also based out of South Africa. Their headquarters is in Johannesburg. A lot of their work involves corporate security for South African companies, but a good number of their operators are retired South African military. So don't mistake them for a bunch of security guards. Boss, this is an emergency. We had 2 intel team agents undercover at the PF Contract Forces of Africa. The CFA have captured them both. They don't have long to live. You've got to get them out of there ASAP. Since our mission at the oil field, we're no longer just business rivals to the CFA. We're enemies, and they want revenge. Our men will be killed the moment the interrogation's complete. And then it won't just be a matter of 2 dead soldiers. Their execution will be a catalyst, sparking resentment within Diamond Dogs against the CFA. Our men will push us to retaliate. Then things will cease to be about business. We'll be starting a personal war. That's not what we set out to do. The 2 men are being held in Kaziba camp. Hurry, boss. They're counting on you. Don't let them down.
Mission accepted. Deploying.
Intel team members are being held captive by the PF in that area, the CFA. Your job is to rescue them. They don't have long to live. It appears that one of our 2 men has broken out of the encampment and is on the run. He contacted us to say he was surrounded. That's the last we heard from him. Your map is marked with a predicted field of movement based on where his transmissions cut off. The other man is still captive inside the encampment. Boss, rescue our men. Extract them both and get them back to Mother Base.
Be careful down there, boss.
The map has been updated. Please select a mission. Unit dispatched. Unit dispatched. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Marker placed. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Our staff member on the run last contacted us from that forest. The enemy PF already has troops spread out in a manhunt to find him. Keep your eyes open.
Enemy presence
Extract your man
detected.
before
The
their
map
search team
has
can
been
find him.
updated.
Check his location on your iDroid.
Analysis complete. Clouds approaching. Analysis complete. The map has been updated.
All right, that's the target. Quickly, extract him while you can.
Extraction failed.
Find our 2 intel team members and rescue them from the enemy
Enemy
PF.
presence
We need to get
detected.
both of them
The
back
map
safe and
has
sound.
been updated.
I've sent VIs of the targets to your iDroid. Take a good look. Our staff member on the run last contacted us from that forest. The enemy PF already has troops spread out in a manhunt to find him. Keep your eyes open. Extract our man before their search team can find him.
Enemy
Check his
presence
location on your
detected.
iDroid.
Another map has been updated. Analysis complete.
Ready!
You've reached the target's predicted field of movement. If he's gone to ground, he'll have hidden himself somewhere in
Clouds
that
appear
area.
to have arrived
Find
at
him.
their destination. The map has been
All right,
updated.
that's the target. Quickly, extract him while you can.
Stop him!
Boss, other man is here. I never told them
The
the
map
thing.
has been updated.
I can tell him. I swallowed it.
Hold him off!
Reserveer, begrijp. Kan een vijandige aanval wees. Alieneren, wakker wees. Uit.
Zit in de Zulu 1. Was het een moeilijke indringer? Wees op gereedheidsgrondslag. Oor.
Reserveer, begrijp. Verlies die omgever. Uit.
Now, rescue the other
Marker
target.
removed.
Head for Gazeba camp.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Boss, our man you extracted gave us all the intel he could. You got a lead on what's happening with the CFA. Check it on your iDroid.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
not many places to hide. Use the landscape wherever possible.
You have arrived at your destination. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
We've picked up some movement. The squad is on its way to Kaziba camp. We've ID'd them as some CFA heavyweights. These aren't your everyday reinforcements.
The map has been
That's
updated.
him. That's the target. He's injured. Looks half-starved, too. There's no way he can stand the shock of a Fulton extraction. Get him out by chopper.
Disease was her fault. Just shouting it at me. Over and over. Kept saying, "You think we're angry? The poor bastards from Massa Village will bleed you all dry for this."
Please select a landing zone. A support helicopter
Roger.
requested. Exfiltrated
That's
hot
it.
zone.
You've made it out of the hot zone. No sign of the enemy. Mission complete, boss.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Mission complete. Great work. Boss,
Side
one of
ops
the job
list
offers we
updated.
received concerns me.
Mission list
There's a PS
updated.
commander who's been talking big about getting into the nuclear arms trade. This could be connected to that yellow cake. And there's another contract I'd like you to handle. It's a wet job, but we need to divert Cypher's attention. Check the mission list for the details.
Boss, sorry to keep you waiting. We finally finished analyzing that yellow cake Cypher was moving. There was nothing unusual about the composition of the yellow cake itself. Most of it was oxidized uranium, with the rest being impurities, various metals as well as traces of organic matter. What's interesting is the composition of these impurities. When we checked them against the impurities found in the copper ore, it was clear the yellow cake didn't come from Shinkolobwe, meaning they went to the trouble of mining two sources of uranium, then transported them together in different states. Another thing, we detected a very thin layer of highly enriched uranium in the middle of the yellow cake. Now that is very interesting. It may not be a lot, but it points to the existence of uranium enriching technology. After all, yellow cake can't naturally produce highly enriched uranium. If they could mass produce this, they'd be just one step away from a gun barrel type nuclear bomb. But uranium enrichment requires advanced technology and a large-scale facility. If that kind of place existed in Zaire, the Soviet Union wouldn't sit idly by. And there's another question. Where were they transporting the yellow cake and malachite uranium? The first place that comes to mind is South Africa. The government was supposed to have abandoned nuclear weapons development after caving to international pressure. But rumors persist that it's continued in secret. Plus, CRS were escorting the truck, and they're based out of South Africa. And then South Africa does have an abandoned test site. If Cypher's involved with nuclear development in South Africa. But how would that fit with their weapon to surpass Metal Gear? We need more information.
Shinkolobwe. There's a name I haven't heard in a while.
The U.S. bought a lot of uranium from Shinkolobwe mine during World War II for the Manhattan Project. They even sent a squad from the Army Corps of Engineers to reopen the mine after it was flooded. That's how good its uranium must have been. With that, the world's first nuclear test was a success. Shinkolobwe uranium might have been used in the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombs too. Just hearing its name is like seeing all the phantoms of the war rise up to haunt us. But all the uranium's dried up, and the mine's been closed for years.
So someone reopened it.
Right. Zero-risk security seized control of the area and were forcing locals to work in it. And the Zairean government was getting a slice of what they took in exchange for looking the other way. Mobutu has to finance his tastes somehow. He'll gladly sell the rights to some old mine. The question is, why would zero-risk security do this kind of thing?
Or rather, why were their employers, Cypher, interested in an abandoned mine? They'd be getting trace amounts of uranium, yet to the naked eye it appears to be ordinary malachite, meaning security would be lax. Not a very efficient way of obtaining it, but easier to move.
But how would they enrich it at its destination?
Did the yellow cake really have a layer of highly enriched uranium in it?
Having trouble believing it?
No. If they say it's real, then it's real. In which case, they might have some enrichment method that we don't know about.
And this was to test it out.
It's possible. And that would mean it's almost complete.
Rogue Coyote operates mainly out of Africa these days. Of the 3 PFs, they're the smallest. However, they scooped up most of the Rhodesian SAS after the country collapsed 4 years ago. Picture their entire organization as one big special forces unit. With Rhodesia a British colony, the Rhodesian SAS had its origins in 22 SAS Sea Squadron. They started out as a group known as the Southern Rhodesia Volunteers, but in '51 they were incorporated into 22 SAS as members of the British Commonwealth and deployed to fight guerrillas in the Malayan emergency. Even now, 22 SAS keeps the Sea Squadron designation empty in recognition of their service. In a way, you could say the SAS almost makes up the core of Rogue Coyote. Later on, they were bolstered by other talent, including former Cella Scouts and 32 Battalion. These guys are direct descendants of the best special forces in the world. They won't go down without a fight. Don't get careless. Kungenga Mine. A civil war's been going on in that region for the last 20 years. It's being fought by what are now 2 ethnic groups, the Buta and the Mbele. Originally, you could barely tell them apart, but the reason for the current armed conflict goes back to World War I. After the war, their land was colonized by a European power, and it decided to give local control to the Buta. That split the 2 groups into rulers and subjects, laying the foundations for an inevitable civil war. The friction between them remained even after they won independence from Europe. The Buta are holding on to power to this day, and the Mbele rebels continue to fight back. The conflict is funded by locally mined gold, rare metals, diamonds. They've used the money from those to arm themselves, buy oil, and even hire PFs. The Buta administration owns the mining rights to Kungenga Mine. But most of the laborers are Mbele, who they've taken prisoner. The product they've gouged out of their land is bought up by cheap Western corporations. And this civil war is fueled by the profits. That's how it goes. One country's people is split apart by another country. Then the 2 groups tear up their own land for money in order to fight each other. Now this civil war started by a foreign power is the norm, and it's sucking up all the country's resources. PFs are just the same. They follow the money, taking war with them wherever they go. That goes for us too. It's an endless river of bloody retaliation, and we're standing downstream. Should we make a stand and staunch the flow? Or wade in amongst the corpses and make a bigger splash than the rest? We'll follow your lead, boss.